Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to be talking about new makeup releases and also including poll results from Instagram, finding out what you guys also think about the new releases as well. You all really seemed to enjoy this format last month, so I decided to do the exact same thing again. So if you missed that video, what I've been doing is throughout the course of the month, I've been posting new makeup releases on my Instagram stories with little polls at the bottom, and then I ask you guys to vote on, whether you would buy it or whether you wouldn't, and then now I'm here to share all of those results with you. And I think it's good because a lot of you, obviously are not YouTubers and you're not going to be buying the same amount of things that I would buy, or you would buy them for different reasons. So I think these polls are kind of interesting to gauge what consumers are actually interested in versus just hearing what a YouTuber thinks. And also, I would love to hear from you all down in the comments below about these new products, because just seeing, the percentage of whether you'll buy it or not doesn't really tell us why you're not interested or why you are. So it would be really helpful to everybody watching to see what your thoughts are on all the products down below. So anyway, why don't we go ahead and jump right in. All right, so I have my phone right here. I have all the results, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm just gonna slide over so I can put pictures up here. The first one is the BH Cosmetics Travel Palette Collection, and this is part 2. They had a first one that came out. They had like the Hanging in Hawaii and Love in London palette, and then also like a blush palette. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I loved that collection so much that I already purchased this. I wasn't gonna skip out on it because I thought the formula was amazing, and these are definitely a little bit different. The Barcelona palette is a little bit more of like a deeper, smokier vibe. I thought it would be really nice for fall. And then there's also like a bright one. And then the face palette is also a little bit different. I think the last one was more kind of cool tone pinks, and this one is warmer peachy colors, which I really, really love. So anyway, let's see what the results say. When I polled you guys on Instagram, 34% of you said you were planning to buy something from this collection, and 66% said you weren't. So that was 858 votes for yes and 1,660 votes for no. So the majority of you guys were not planning to buy this collection. Again, if you have reasons for why you didn't want to, definitely let us know down below. I think the quality is amazing on them. So it could just be that maybe, you feel like you have too much makeup, or, the colors didn't appeal to you. So I'd love to know your thoughts. And then moving on, I asked about Kylie's new summer collection. It had a palette, it had some lipsticks, I think it had some loose eyeshadows or something. 11% of you said yes, you were planning to buy it, and 89% said you weren't, which was the overwhelming majority. I happen to agree with you guys. I really am not interested in Kylie's products, just because I believe they are produced in the same factory as ColourPop's, and they're just like more than double the price of ColourPop, and you really just can't beat ColourPop's formula, honestly, and they do it so affordably that I just feel like I've never had any reason to really buy Kylie palettes. The only reason I did actually buy a few was to compare them to some C-Color palettes, but I hardly use them. I just don't think the quality is worth the price. Okay, so moving on, we have Lady Gaga's new brand, Haus Labs, and actually 76% of you said no, you were not planning to buy this, and 24% said you were. So I was kind of surprised by that because there seems to be a lot of hype around this brand, but I agree with you guys. I did not really feel like purchasing anything from this collection. It just doesn't really speak to me. I believe they have like liquid eyeshadows, some liners, and some lipsticks, and it just, to me, I was kind of expecting a little bit, maybe something more exciting, I guess. And I don't use liquid eyeshadows that often, and I don't know, I just kind of felt like it fell flat for all of the hype that was coming out about it. Next up, we have the ColourPop Just Tint Lip Crayons. I actually bought some of these because, again, I just love ColourPop. It's hard for me to resist their new releases that come out, and I haven't had a lip crayon in a really long time. I think the last one I bought was from Jordana, which is back when they were still at Walgreens, and I bought a whole bunch of their lip crayons. I thought they were amazing, actually, and really affordable too. But that was years ago. I want to say that was back when I was still blogging, and so I just felt like, lip crayons are really convenient, kind of tinted balm where you could just throw it in your purse and go. So I definitely didn't want to miss out on these, and you guys agreed with me. 56% of you said that you were planning to buy these, and 44% said no. So it was a little bit split, but definitely more of you were planning to get them than not. And then moving on to the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. 32% of you said you were planning to buy it, while 68% said no. And Charlotte Tilbury is definitely a more expensive brand. I haven't actually tried anything from the brand before. I kind of am on the fence about this. I think I would probably maybe try it out in store first to see what the hype is about. I know a lot of people love the other magic filter thing that she has. I think it's more like a primer, like a glowy primer, and I wasn't really interested in that one because it is really glowy, and I'm always afraid that those glowy finishes are gonna draw attention to pores and things like that, texture on my face. So this one, I'm not sure what it's gonna be like. So I think when it comes to foundation, especially really expensive ones, I like to go in store first and try it. So I'm not saying never, but I just don't know yet. I'm kind of on the fence. And then next we have the Dose of Colors foundation. 25% of you said you were planning to buy it, and 75% said no. And actually, as this poll was going on, I was getting so many DMs from people saying, is everyone crazy? Why wouldn't they want to buy this? Dose of Colors is amazing. I'm definitely buying it, you know? So I don't know. I really do enjoy Dose of Colors lip products. I have some of their eyeshadows. I think they're a really great brand. I'm intrigued by this as well. So I think, again, I'll probably go and try it out in store before I commit to buying it, but I'm definitely interested in it, and I think I might end up purchasing if the formula is right. Next, we have the I Heart Revolution food palettes, and these I was immediately attracted to. I love Makeup Revolution, and the avocado one in particular with all those greens looks so beautiful, and I've been seeing people doing some looks with it, and I think it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous palette. I'm really into greens lately, and they're so affordable, so I'm definitely gonna pick up that avocado palette and maybe the pizza one. The pizza one looks really cute as well. So for you guys, 21% of you said you were planning to buy one or more of these palettes, and 79% said no. So I guess for whatever reason, they weren't completely appealing to you guys. I know I got a couple of DMs saying that they stole the pizza theme from Glamlite. I'm not sure about that because I also saw people saying that they've been working on this for over a year. So if they have, then that means, you know, that predates Glamlite's palette. So who knows? I think people just, you know, assume the worst about Makeup Revolution because they've copied things in the past, but you know, they're not just doing pizza. They have the avocado one, they have the peppers one. So I'm not sure if they really copied Glamlite or if it's just a coincidence. But the next one I really do think is more of a dupe type of product, and that's the I Heart Revolution Fruit blushes. These remind me a lot of the Too Faced ones from the Tutti Frutti collection, and they look really pretty. I do want to see them in store if I can, because I'm not sure if these are more of like a shimmery blush or not. They look like they could be, and I have to be really careful when it comes to shimmery blushes because I don't really wear highlighter anymore because of texture issues, so I don't want to wear something that's overly glittery, but if it's just like a little bit shimmery, I'm good with it. And I think these are super cute and they look like really pretty fun colors. I'm sure they're going to be affordable. 30% of you guys said that you were planning to buy them, and 70% said no. And then next up, we have the new Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Concealer. I saw this in store recently. I almost bought it, but full coverage is kind of stopping me because I'm a little bit, you know, these days I'm not really wearing full coverage underneath my eyes. Again, just because I'm over 40 now, I have fine lines, and sometimes full coverage concealers like Shape Tape can accentuate my fine lines, settle into them, and I'm just, you know, a little bit wary of more full coverage. I also don't need full coverage under my eyes, so I try to stay away from things like that. But I may purchase this just to talk about it in a video because I know like a lot of people have been asking me to review it. So I think I'm gonna buy it for review purposes, but if I wasn't on YouTube, I probably would stay away from it because I do have some drugstore concealers that I really love, and I definitely don't need this. So according to you guys, 49% of you said you were planning to buy it, or 1,331 people. 51% or 1,408 said no, you were not planning to buy it. Next up, we have the Tarte and Whitney Simmons collab. When I saw this, I was thinking, who's Whitney Simmons? But as it turns out, she actually has a fitness channel. So I don't follow a lot of fitness channels, that's probably why, but she has tons and tons of followers. I mean, plenty of people know who she is. You just have to be into following fitness people. So a lot of people were saying they thought it was kind of weird that Tarte would collab with a fitness person versus a makeup person. But, you know, in a way, I kind of like that they're branching out and not just using the same old people that we're constantly seeing getting collabs all the time. But I did also think it was kind of a little bit strange to not, you know, to use a non-makeup person. I'd like to see maybe like a smaller or unknown beauty guru get it. But anyway, 14% of you guys said you were planning to buy this palette, while 86% said no. I'm with the no's on this one. This looks just like a bunch of other palettes that they've come out with. If this was a couple of years ago, I would have said, heck yes, I'm buying it because it's beautiful and neutral, and you know, these colors are right up my alley. but I have a million things just like it, so I really do not need another one. Next we have the Glamlite paint palette. So this was tough because I love Glamlite's formula. I think it's so good. But looking at this palette, it just looks huge to me, and I already am kind of having trouble storing some of their larger palettes, like the big pizza one that they came out with. And you know, while I really love their formula, I don't think that the colors in here are particularly different from other palettes that they have. You know, they like to use a lot of bright and bold colors, and that's not usually something that I wear all the time. I have their taco palette, the burger one, the pizza one, so I don't think I really need this one. And most of you guys agreed with me. 14% said you would purchase this, and 86% said no, you wouldn't. Next, we have the BH Cosmetics Zodiac Leo palette. So when I saw this one, to be honest, it's really not my favorite of the collection. And if I was not on YouTube, I would definitely not buy it. But I already did purchase this actually because I'm collecting all of these Zodiac palettes. I want to do a video on all of them at the end of the year. I was actually thinking about maybe doing one now, like at the 6-month mark. I think we're a little past that already, but maybe do like the first 6 and then do another video of the second 6 of them. But I do like the formula of them. It's just that this particular color story doesn't really appeal to me too much. So a lot of you guys agreed. 90% of you said you were not planning to buy this, while only 10% said you were planning to buy it. So yeah, I just think it's kind of a really bland color story, and it does look a little better in person than it does in the pictures. I think a lot of these have been that way. So as I start to play with it, I can definitely let you guys know. I think, you know, I've been surprised by a few of them, so maybe it'll be good, who knows. Next up, we have the M Cosmetics, or E.m. Cosmetics, I'm not sure how you say that, Blush Serum Drops. I believe this is Michelle Phan's brand, and I haven't tried anything from them, so I'm not really sure, but these piqued my interest a little bit just from the pictures. They just look like such a beautiful formula. I love gel blushes for how natural they look, and they also usually are pretty long lasting. And surprisingly, 30% of you said yes, you were planning to purchase these, 70% said no. I'm kind of on the fence about it. I kind of want to see some more reviews maybe and see what the colors look like. I might try one out just because I haven't tried anything from her brand yet. They definitely intrigue me, like I said, but I also have a lot of blushes as well. I really don't need them. It's just kind of, you know, I wanted to try maybe something different and a little bit of a different formula than what we're used to seeing. And then next up is the Buxom Boss Babe Betty palette. This one, I was immediately attracted to the colors when I first saw it, but again, kind of like the Tarte one, I probably have a million palettes just like this, so I'm probably not gonna buy it, even though I have gotten a few requests from you guys for me to review it and saying, you know, these are your colors, I think you would really love this palette. I probably would, and if I see it in store and it looks a little different than the pictures, I might do it. But for now, just looking at it online, it just looks like a basic neutral palette that I have a million of already. So 81% of you guys said you were not planning to buy this one, 19% said you were. So I think everybody kind of feels the same way about these palettes that come out now. It's like, yes, it's neutrals, it's really wearable, but we have so many. It's just too much after a while. Next up, we have the e.l.f. Jelly Pop collection. This immediately drew my attention as soon as I saw the products. I thought they looked really cool. I definitely might try something from this line just because I love like those jelly textures, and I feel like this is gonna be something really like natural looking, really easy, casual products for summer. And I definitely love the theme of it. I love the packaging. e.l.f. is so affordable. It's kind of like, why not? 45% of you guys said you were planning to purchase something from this collection, and 55% said no. So it was pretty close to an even split. And then next up, we have the ColourPop Honey palette. And this one, again, I'm not really into yellow eyeshadow, but I have to admit, when I saw the swatches of it, it looked really pretty. But still, I'm not planning to buy it. I haven't purchased any of their monochromatic palettes that they've come out with, just because I like a little bit of color variety, and I don't feel like I would reach for a monochromatic palette all that often. So same goes for this one. I'm definitely not gonna buy it, but 45% of you said you were planning to buy it, and 55% said no. So again, this was a pretty close split, which I was very surprised about because I feel like yellows are really tough to pull off. Next, we have the Too Faced Shake Your Pom Poms palette. This is one of those little mini ones. They came out with a few last fall, I believe, like around the gingerbread collection time, and I love those. I bought both of them and I thought they were so cute. This one, again, it's just kind of like, I don't need it. I haven't touched those little palettes since last fall, I don't think. I used them a few times. I thought they were cute, but then, you know, after the fall season, I was just kind of like, I forgot about them. I moved on to other things. The last thing I need is more of these. But if I I wasn't a YouTuber and I didn't have a really large collection, I might consider this one because I do really like the colors in it. So 25% of you guys said yes, you were planning to purchase it. 75% said no. So most of you, I think, felt the same way as I did. Next, we have the Physicians Formula Petal Glow highlighters. And these, I believe, are supposed to be like a cream formula. I could be wrong on that, but I know that their butter highlighters are a cream. And I am not planning to pick these up just because I don't wear highlighter that much anymore. But surprisingly, 55% of you said you were planning to buy these and 45% said no. So this is one of those very few that actually the yeses outweighed the nos. So I'd be curious to see, you know, what your thoughts are on these and why so many of you are interested in picking them up. Next, we have the Makeup Revolution Wild Animal palettes. They have a zebra one, a cheetah one, and a tiger. And the cheetah one really speaks to me. The color story is really beautiful. I might get that one. I'm definitely not getting them all. But 26% of you guys said you were planning to purchase one of these, while 74% said no. So majority of you guys are not interested in these. And then next up, the ColourPop California Dreamin' collection. I actually did purchase the California Dreamin' palette because I thought it was so beautiful. I love ColourPop. And I kind of sound like a hypocrite right now because I was just talking about how the Buxom palette was just too neutral and too boring. Same thing with the Tarte. This one is a totally neutral palette too, but there's something about ColourPop, maybe because it's so much more affordable than the other brands, that I don't feel as bad spending money on a neutral palette. Or maybe it's just because I love ColourPop's formula so much, but whatever it is, it pushed me over the edge to buy it. I also got some of the ultra blotted lips from this collection, which I'm going to be talking about in an upcoming lip video. But you guys were a 50-50 split on this one. 50% said yes, 50% said no. I think when it comes to ColourPop, it's always really close. So next we have the NYX Born to Glow Naturally Radiant Foundation. This one looks like it actually has a really nice color range. I'm not sure, again, when it says Born to Glow, I don't know if this is going to be one of those shimmery foundations. My skin and I do not get along with those, so if it is, I'm going to skip it. I guess I'm going to have to see some reviews first. If it's just more of like a dewy finish, I don't mind that as much, especially since I have dry skin. So I'm just going to have to think about this one a little bit more and wait to see some reviews on it. But 38% of you guys said you were planning to buy it, while 62% said no. And then last but not least, we have the Revolution Pro New Neutrals palette. Now this is the one that had come out recently that looked a little like a dupe for the Huda New Nudes palette. I actually did purchase this one because I was really excited to see a dupe for New Nudes, and then right after I purchased it, the Alter Ego one had come out, the Daydream palette, which was an exact dupe. And this one actually isn't an exact dupe. When you see it in person, there's a few shades that are completely different and then others that don't quite match up. I think it has a similar vibe, but it really isn't an exact dupe. And to be honest with you, I love Makeup Revolution, but I was disappointed in this palette. I was disappointed in the formula, especially because it said Revolution Pro. I was expecting like a little bit more out of it, maybe a little more pigmentation. And for me, I felt like it wasn't even as good as their Reloaded palettes, which are $7, you know, or their Forever Flawless collection. I didn't think the formula on this was as good as those. It just wasn't pigmented. It didn't last on my eyes when I tried it. So this was a big disappointment for me, sadly. But 45% of you guys answered that you were planning to purchase this one. 55% said no. But I actually did this poll before it launched, before the Alter Ego one. So I'd love to hear if you guys are still interested in this palette or if you're planning to skip it now. So anyway, that's everything. Again, I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below on all the new releases, what you're planning to buy, what you're planning to skip, and why. So thank you all so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video, and also please take a minute to subscribe to my channel as well so that you won't miss out on future videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.